Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 19th day of the month of July, 2024. Friday of the 15th week of the year, the 15th week in Ordinary Time. And where am I? Well, I'm at another beach just a couple of miles north of Bald Head Island. It's a lot of miles north of Bald Head Island. I'm in New Jersey once again for summer masses here at our parish, St. Francis of Assisi. Again, we have 4 churches here on the island, and so they always need more help because all 4 churches are open during the summer to help vacation goers be able to find Jesus. So that's what we're doing. So that's why I'm here. So there is the Atlantic here in New Jersey. The Long Beach Island Yoga Club is right over there, doing their morning routine. There are fishermen, fisherfolk, whatever you want to call them, out there doing their thing, and everyone said they're beginning to set up the lifeguard posts because you can only swim between flags, between the lifeguard flags that are set up here. You do not have full range of the full shore. Except prior to 10 a.m. or after 5 p.m. So New Jersey has tough rules that you have to follow here. And a very small beach, as you can see, as compared to our North Carolina beaches, very, very tiny beach. So people are shoulder to shoulder, creating great community and convivium here on the shore in the summer times. As this day continues, as the day opens up, this Friday of the 15th week of the year, we have Isaiah, we're continuing with Isaiah. And we are introduced, we have an interlude here with Hezekiah. And who is Hezekiah? Hezekiah is one of the good kings of the kingdom of Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel. That gets divided into a northern kingdom of Israel and a southern kingdom of Judah. And Hezekiah has witnessed the fall of the kingdom of Israel to the armies of Assyria. And so he now is beginning to worry himself because Assyria has taken over the northern part of Israel, and now they are knocking on the doors and again in the gates of Jerusalem, waiting to take over now Judah. And so Hezekiah, Isaiah comes to Hezekiah. And the question is always, again, is that because Isaiah, who was in the northern kingdom preaching there, was he able to escape the deportations and the destruction of the kingdom of Israel by Assyria? Or is this a follower of Isaiah's who continues writing the book of Isaiah in his stead because Isaiah has been carried off? It's never clear. And scripture scholars go back and forth about this. But for all intents and purposes, let's say that Isaiah was able to escape the destruction of Israel by Assyria. Because he knew it was coming, and again, the people of Israel just didn't listen. So he's able to escape that, and he gets to Judah, and he begins to prophesy there, trying to help the people of Judah avoid the fate that was the kingdom of Israel. So he's with Hezekiah, and the first thing he says to Hezekiah is, "You're sick and you're going to die." Again, because I guess that's what God tells Isaiah to do, which is again not a nice thing to do, but that's what prophets do sometimes. Hezekiah prays, and says, I will do what you ask, Lord, and I will bring back this people to you, and please help me to live a little bit more. And basically, God does that. He increases his span of years by 15, and he says that although it seems as though Assyria is going to come and try to destroy you, it will not succeed, and it doesn't. And so Assyria basically just goes away. It's up to Babylon then to destroy the kingdom of Judah in a couple of decades later. But for now, Assyria Judah is kept safe from Assyria. Assyria is unsuccessful in taking over Judah. The thing about Hezekiah, though, is that he remains true to his word, and he tries to bring back the people of Judah, that remnant of Israel, back to the worship of God, and not to these other gods and goddesses. And he breaks down all of the other temples and all the other kind of sacrificial sites and things like that to try to bring back the people, to that end. To an extent, he is successful, but again, the cultural norms and the cultural influences of those people around the kingdom of Judah are too strong, and his successors unfortunately do not have the same fortitude as he does, and again, Judah falls back into a worship of alien gods and goddesses, and again leads unfortunately to the destruction. But we have again Hezekiah, who is often known and said to be the greatest of the kings of Israel, of both kingdoms, Israel and Judah, because what he tried to do, when he tried to bring Israel back to. So again, it is this sense, of God giving Hezekiah another chance, and again, of Hezekiah deciding to take up God on this chance and trying to do well. but then people not following through. And again, when we don't follow through with the chances that God gives us, we only have our own consequences to endure because of that. It's something to think about. In Matthew's gospel today, we have the whole thing about Pharisees getting angry with Jesus and the disciples for breaking a law of the Sabbath, which was to eat grain that you pick, because they're walking by a field and picking grain, and eating it, and that's an action and an activity. And the Sabbath, where no one's supposed to do anything but sit, the Pharisees and scribes get angry at Jesus, and he basically says to them, it's like, don't you know that when David was hungry in his army, he went and ate of this bread that was only for the priests, and that the priests were even able to make it or eat it, and they were not breaking any Sabbath laws. And he says, your Sabbath laws are stupid. Basically all these laws that we create to hopefully bring holiness to our lives or to bring stability to our lives are just things that entrap us and enslave us in so many ways, in absurdities. You're hungry and you can't eat because you're not supposed to do any work to make anything to eat on the Sabbath. Jesus says it's dumb. Stop doing that. And again, he says the great line that God desires mercy and not sacrifice. Again, the idea of mercy, to understand each other's hills and valleys, to understand where each other is coming from, to understand the ups and downs of each other's lives, and trying to help each other become the person that God has made us to become. That is what mercy is. It doesn't matter how many devotions, how many other things that we do in our lives, how many times we attend Mass, how many times we gaze upon the Blessed Sacrament. If it is not followed up with any kind of care for one another, and a care for one another that builds us up into the people God intends us to be, then what Jesus is saying is worthless. It's worthless. So it's something for us, again, to consider and to think about, again, as we live this life, believers in this world. Are we doing those things that enable us, to live the life that God calls us to live? Are we living life that calls us to be the people that God needs us to be in this world? Or are we falling back, upon practices that, while, we think they offer comfort and security, just basically keep us from being able to become the people God intends us to be? From the Jersey Shore, St. Francis and people of God, may the Lord give you his peace.